Hey, engineering productivity team. It's Kyle here with the March 7th, 2022 team overview. I wanted to try recording this week instead of just talking through it in the team meeting. So we'll see how well this works. This will be the first time. First off, I want to talk about last week. I think last week the team did a great job making progress on some research items, collaboration with community contribution workflow automation, and prep work for the work type transition, which I'll talk about here in a bit. We're also inundated with high severity reactive work last week, mostly related to some DangerBot token leaks. So we had this cert issue 2011, and then later in the week 2071, where we rotated the DangerBot group token twice. And on the second time, we reduced the permissions, which was a recommendation from security coming out of the first one, to develop from admin to developer. So if the credentials leaked, it has minimal, it has less permissions, but that created a problem with Danger updating existing MR comments. So Ash very quickly put together an API script, which we were grateful for, and ran that on his Friday. And we were able to get a lot of MRs unblocked. Another item that was a main blocker for a number of MRs was this Upstream Cipher error. So this resulted from the distribution team having a problem in this 893 MR that I linked to, and was resolved with this 919. What happened is review apps deployed between those two MRs essentially were had their secrets corrupted and could not be restored based on how our review apps work. So we had to go through and clean them up. We believe cleanup has happened. We're going to continue monitoring throughout the week, but these were two really urgent, unplanned things that came up and impacted our plan. One of the things that we changed coming out of that was the work that we're doing to support MR type classification. I've decided to push a week. Originally, it was targeted to rename labels and implement tooling this week. And just with the amount of disruption we had last week, we're going to push that to tentatively March 16th. I'll talk more about that here in a bit. Now I want to go through and just review the normal things we talk about. So looking at our current milestone priority 1 work, this actually went up from 4 to 5, mostly due to efforts related to the items I just talked about. So here's an audit that is, I think, 60 to 70% complete. I'll be looking for help with the remaining items in this audit. So if you're looking for something to pick up, please review the projects in this issue. And let's make sure we get all of these completed. Some of these have a question mark and just need some review. I think everything that is pipeline common will actually use the latest version of Danger by default, but I'll ask a question to confirm. The other thing that became urgent is we found that we are not compliant with GitLab.com webhook standards, and I'll say enforcement of that policy is going to start over the coming months. So I prioritized this issue that Remy had created higher, and he had started a proof of concept for shifting all of our event processors to be async. We're going to need to refocus on that, and this will probably be Remy's top priority when he returns. But this will be something as a team we need to stop merging any new event processors so that we're not getting further out of compliance with the guidelines of how quickly we should respond to the webhook event. Lastly, Ash is out on PTO the next few weeks. We're going to need some help on this Gdk Fresh Install. This is blocking new installs of the Gdk on Mac OS X. So Gdk maintainers are helping out here, but this is something I and other people on the team, please jump in here when you can. And I believe this Gdk test on Mac runners is going to move into 14.10. Looking at priority 2 work, pretty good progress here on a lot of these items. David made great research progress here. I've moved a number of issues that were in here out based on the impacts that happened last week. So I think there was 14 or so issues last week, and now we're down to 9, mostly based on rescheduling. I think 1 got completed. The one thing that looking for help here is documenting default issue and merge request template. There's a number of projects in here, I think 8, that we can go through and we're identified to add this to. This would be a good way to dog food a new community contribution that landed in the last milestone, I think 14.8. And then looking ahead here, we have 23 issues. Most are assigned out. So if I go to none, we have 4 issues that someone can pick up here. And so if you're looking for more work, this would be a good place to start if there's nothing that is available on the priority 1 or priority 2. Next, I want to talk through MR rate for our team. So we closed out February at 13.2, which was a little bit higher than I expected based on our team PTO and that we had team member onboarding. You can see here in February, we're already at 5, and we're down to 4 team members that are included in the denominator, so how many people on our team. So I kind of expect this to be back around 17 to 20 like we had previously had going back to September in most months where there's not a lot of PTO. Actually, I'll say we still have a fair amount of PTO this month, so maybe 15 to 20. I'll change my mind on that. Lastly, one thing that I want to make sure everyone is aware of is this MR type classification change. This has already been rolled out to the handbook, but as a part of this, we have a number of new scoped labels or scoped subtype labels that are being added to GitLab org and GitLab.com. We have an issue to support a lot of the tooling changes that is related. And this is what we're going to target the middle of next week to complete. A number of MRs have already been opened here, and we'll look for some help in reviewing those MRs this week. Other than that, I'm hoping this week is a little more calm, less reactive work, and that we can remain focused on the work that we have planned and assigned out. If not, I'll continue to look to make adjustments to our plan. But yeah, I'm hoping to be able to make progress on that, and then me personally making some progress on hiring as well. Thank you for listening. We're going to see how this works and hope to do more. Bye.